Well, now you all know I can't whistle. Two things suck about that. Didn't get eyes on the dog again. And I realised that I had some crumbs on my face. I had a bit of toast with lemon curd on it before hitting the road. Didn't even look in a mirror. You'd think someone who's on camera would sort of check that before filming. Okay, g'day folks. I'm back up at the station and today we are heading out to Pixie. That's the bore that Ant and I drilled with Craig way out on our eastern side. It's quite a distance, and quite a distance by station terms as well. It's going to take us a little while to get out there. While we're out there, we are going to be setting the yards for trapping, but it's finally dried up enough that we can, well, hopefully, get the truck out there and we'll set up the Wi-Fi so that we've got comms on and cam on out there, which will be very interesting because it is right on that eastern interface near a big clay pan where it's traditionally been called the Killing Fields. And it gained that name when Rigby was around 12 years old. And so you all might know Rigby from every now and then being up here at the station, but also being down at the farm. So he was 12 years old, out camping with his dad and Wade, who's basically an uncle to him and a good mate of mine. And he got woken up near the middle of the night by Wade and Herb shooting camels and horses. They ended up dropping 120 camels that night and I think it was 15 or 20 horses. The entertaining thing about this is that they were basically yelling at each other, accusing each other of not being able to hit anything because each of them could only see one thing dropping. But what it was one was shooting at horses, the other was shooting at camels, and neither of them at that time realised that the other species was there. So, that's the Killing Fields. The winds died down quite a bit today, so that's always good, which means that we can throw the drone up. And Ant has got his 308 and I've got my 300 Win Mag. So unfortunately for anyone that wants to see trigger cam, neither of our rifles have got scopes that can record or any adapters on them. And I've got a dog. Well, now you all know I can't whistle. Two things suck about that. Didn't get eyes on the dog again. And I realised that I had some crumbs on my face. I had a bit of toast with lemon curd on it before hitting the road. Didn't even look in a mirror. You'd think someone who's on camera would sort of check that before filming. But that happens. So it will be very interesting to see how the camera performs out there. It's a reasonable shot for the Wi-Fi, and yeah, we're just going to see how the day goes. I've now got the rifle in a better position to be able to get it out nice and efficiently, and what will be will be. Everything is dynamic. So we've made a slight change to our plan, given the time that we departed the homestead, and we were a little bit delayed because just as we were about to roll out, I had a look over the trailer and noticed that we had a wheel bearing that had collapsed. So that would not have been fun. So we solved that issue and we got rolling. Now, as I said, Pixie is a long way out, and it is across some areas where we may get bogged. A while ago, I did do a video of the 6x6 and getting it unbogged, and we'd be taking a different track into it. But it's going to be a little bit too late by the time we get out there. So we've decided that instead of punching on out there and even just getting out there to put the comms equipment in and set the yards, Dad's flown out, set the yards, and tomorrow we'll just target that location, and we'll be able to get out nice and early because the gear's good to go. So instead of doing that, we've got another one that we're tackling in the vicinity to make the most of our daylight hours. We've got a very large clay pan where cattle and ferals hang out and drink. You know, it's nice, easy to get to, free water. The bore there isn't amazing. And so down at the clay pan, which is 3.6 kilometres from the yards, we have dropped two 50,000 litre tanks that we can couple together. And a couple of weeks ago, my brother Tom was up with an excavator and he dug a slit trench to drain the water into from the clay pan so we could pump it out of there into the tanks, store it, set some yards up, and manage livestock there in our self-mustering yards. So the rest of the crew, Ant, Jesper and Dad are ahead of me. Dad and Ant have flown from Bullock out to Bloodwood, and Jesper is driving from Bullock to Bloodwood. It's about 20 kilometres. Now Jesper is not that far ahead of me, and I've got camel tracks that went over his and Ant's wheel marks, I believe. Just going to have a quick look. No, because we can see a half a print here that's been driven over by Jesper, because that's his wider wheel marks, but they're over Ant's, so they probably 45 minutes from being here. Travelling down that way, and I'd say that given I've got to get up there and do a job, we aren't going to bother with throwing the drone up here. I'm sure that I can have a good look around up where we are. Let's keep rolling on, get up there and get some water pumping. It's kind of cool. And speaking of cool, it was minus think -1 at the Homestead, -2.3 in Wiluna. We had a wind chill that made it sit at a feels like of -5 this morning when I got out of bed. So lovely day, lovely weather. We're sitting at 16 degrees outside Celsius because we operate in mostly the metric system here. Alrighty, we are at the clay pan, and I would really like to get the drone up and I guess I can show you it. I can have a good look around. So hopefully the crew will be able to manage while I don't know, have a bit of a play. I can see some roos, some moo cows, but I will give you a little bit of a look around here as we pull up. All right, there's my Max tracks, which I will pick up on the way out, and there's our landing strip. So I'll just pan along. It's been packed down by driving the army truck up and down it. And I'll try not to put any ruts across it because that'd make it not fun for the pilot and his passengers. I guess it's going to look better from the air. It's also a good opportunity. We've got cows out here, so we can have a look at them under the thermal and see how they show up, and maybe, just maybe, we'll have some other interesting characters around that we didn't see and they didn't notice in the aeroplane. You'll be mildly famous, Jesper.
Mildly?
Yeah.
You want to be world famous.
All right, so we're doing them as separate tanks.
No. I'm just making sure how
We're going to put the water into it. Yep.
There's a small hole.
Okay, where's the small one? Just there.
Here.
Okay, hang on a second. Okay, we're going fishing. You've got control there.
And it's got the anti-siphon holes. Lovely.
Well, then you could probably go with the skinnier one. No?
Yeah.
Well, that one.
No, I can't get in onto it.
Okay.
Okay, we can lay that out.
So, while the comedy crew is working out which hole,
That's right.
we'll have a look at the plan with the water. So, that's our clay pan out there. And then we're coming up to the slit trench that Tom dug with a 30-ton excavator. I don't exactly want to go for a swim because, as I said earlier, it's 16 degrees. But for fun, we might throw Ant in there. The idea is that pump there is going to be sucking water out of this sump and then running across into the two tanks, which will be coupled, and we will be able to plumb in the trough that's over there and then set up some yards around it. We've got a big roll of 2-inch poly. Now, we aren't going to be setting the trough up right now. We might be doing a bit of a quick and dirty with it laid across the surface and just dig in under there. Otherwise, it'll be getting the grader up, which isn't a bad idea. It's just a good 80, 90 kilometres away. So, half decent looking plan. And it'll be exciting to get this one solved and underway, because a few years ago we put a 1.5 inch or 1.25 inch pipeline from the bore up the top running down, and we're going to have a tank down next to an area that holds water for a reasonable amount of time and set a load of yards there. back in 2020, we had a massive cyclone that dumped 0.5 metre of rain per, just 500 mil. So this was completely underwater, and that trough floated 600 metres out. So that was interesting. But getting control of this, we're going to get some big animals, some pretty wild animals, but it's going to also, well, once we're at that stage of having the water in the tanks, not out in the clay pan, because this will dry up in a month or two, we'll get control of the ferals out here.
What I could do is find something under these bolts with.
I've got my spanner roll.
Right, okay, let's get into it then.
I think we're going to leave you up there.
Perfect. I'm making it there.
Okay, I'm not sure for how long, but your boss will tell you.
Yeah. Maybe then.
I'm just following instructions.
Just
Yes,
throw,
but I wouldn't do it to you, mate.
and throw me a sandwich and I'm fine.
Yeah, I-
Like you today or not.
What about
Maybe
any
warm
cake or
chicken.
no dessert?
Yeah, oh shit.
Yeah.
I will ask Louise to bring me it.
Yeah, we need it up there because I don't think he's going to ride the bull, is he?
No, probably
No.
not. No.
I am.
Oh, you're just going to get him the hook on and then
Yeah,
come
yeah,
down.
then come down.
Okay. Yeah.
I need you to push it out. I need you to go south. Yeah, no, that'll be good. That's perfect. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Just,
Oh, the face of it.
no, all we want to do is just put a bit on the,
Yeah, the
The bolts.
rubbers. Oh, the bolts.
yeah, or thread. Just squirt in here. One, two. No, yeah. Yeah, that's them. Yep. Okay. You're underway.
Couple of spanners.
Now we're another 2 bolts.
2 more bolts.
I have one more here.
Hang on, how many washes?
You might have just had one which had a whole bucket load of washers for the sake of it.
Yeah, no, we were using them. I've used the one I want for the washes. Hang on, you're right. This is on here.
Yep.
That's going to then be, just invert that. That's going to come over to here.
All right.
Happy?
No, that'll work. Obviously it will. Oh, did you want to use a Waratah instead of the wooden peg? We've got the ones on the back of my ute because I can always grab more.
Waratahs as in
Steel picket. So how's our trust exercise? That's good. So she'll lock into that.
Yep.
And then we just whack the other one like you did. Ooh, that's some very not so the type of wire I wanted. I'll just tie this one off. All right, and I'll just find something to twitch that off with.
Same height, Jack.
Yeah. You know what we didn't ask him?
Ask who?
Well, I just assumed he wanted it facing this way, but what would make sense is if we had that straight in that way. He can take the pegs out.
Oh my God.
We installed in situ.
Is this meant to be pointing towards the tank?
No, this one points towards the tank. So that's, no, we're good. We're good.
Yeah, I mean, probably easier to dig the lake out than hit those 2 posts back in, Jack.
No.
That's my thought. I'm sticking to it.
Good. That's the plan we ran with. and we'll use a wooden peg to anchor that line in.
Okay.
And no, we're
Okay.
not going to get ahead of ourselves. And you might need to go for a swim.
I don't think I'll be going for a swim in that. I'll just wash my hands in it, Jack.
Yeah, wasn't good.
It's like an ice bath.
Yeah, you know, the whole Wim Hof. You know,
Yeah, I know the Wim Hof story.
Yep.
Yeah. The old Norwegian. Snakkenorsk. Right.
Right, let's have a look.
I think someone strung you a story. Did you try these fittings?
Maybe they've shriveled up in the cold as well. Whoa, steady on the cutty. What you could always do is a bit of spray.
It's not meant to be that hard, surely.
That's 3-inch line.
Yeah.
It's a 3-inch cam lock.
The question is, does a 3-inch...
It's made for it.
Sure is, Jack.
It's just whether the Chinese decided to do it metric.
Where's that? Bring that out. Right, stop.
Now the game's on.
Do you want some spray?
No, we're away. Yeah.
It's like that girl.
That was hard work.
It's like that story I told you about that girl I told she wanted to go diving. I told her to try this wetsuit on. And seeing her in a bikini trying to get in a wetsuit was like trying to get this thing on it.
Yeah.
Like this. And then she puts it on, she goes to this fit. I said, no, you better try that on. Just to see the show alone again.
I'm sure that she was
Clever play.
Yeah,
equal to the task.
she was, yes. Yes.
She played for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's your thing?
Yes, that's in my room.
Got it.
What have you?
Yeah.
Have you framed?
Yeah.
You know.
Always when you need it, you don't have it on you.
You know they. I need that other set of pliers. Can I have yours?
He's
please?
standing there looking
Oh,
at you, Ant.
okay.
Shall I hold it or?
No, that's all right. I don't recall that I put another wetsuit down this hard. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I don't reckon you're within a metre of that wetsuit.
Too big then. Should have bought a smaller size. Could have booked it longer. Or you took it off immediately afterwards. You take it off. You have something else first to do.
Yes. Do they come fully apart, or were we meant to put those on before I put this on?
No, they come apart and then we can tighten them up.
Good answer. Good answer.
It's like imagine getting this off again.
Oh man. Now I think we just have to get over that flange, but we'll wait for the gurus,
For the general's back.
the generals.
Yeah. It just soldiers in
And
the
it's
field then.
probably likely that both of them will have different opinions. As my professor once said, whenever
Yeah.
two men always have the same opinion,
Great
one of them
man.
is useless.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
This should be good, right?
It's going to be awesome.
This can't be, and this can't. Oh, over
This is not going anywhere once we put our stuff on, but I think it's okay to have the cut here. But geez, I hope there's not another end to this.
short.
Yes.
In the middle, Jack.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then we.
Oh yeah, just as a tip for young players, you put the hose clamp on first.
I know, but that's what I said, Jesper. But he's fixed it.
Look at this.
Look at that.
Perfect.
Right. Now I've just got to decide which one's a better Leatherman, and I'll keep that one.
Right, Ant, since you're a professional,
Yes.
we've got another one for you.
I knew you'd say that.
We can lay that hose out.
We haven't
before. Okay.
We know that we're putting this. So we've had fun putting the ends on each side, obviously. We've picked our depth, and now it's going to be the easiest one to do. Do you want me on that with my hands rather than...
Yep, hang on.
What, you hit yourself?
Good with
Piss
the...
off! I drove that.
Good hitting
came back onto
myself.
me.
I need a good golf swing on it. Let's see, bloody.
Now the maestro.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods. Oh, only one.
Are you going on the curve?
Okay, which way?
So, no, we'll get you from...
This side?
You're going to have to practice your backhand.
Yeah, I
for
know
tennis.
my thing, okay.
Okay, whoa, get that rubber out of there. That's more important than
Okay, keep going.
money farming.
A lot of trust. Yep.
Because he's on a golf course in Sydney,
I was thinking about my mouth
watching
guard.
humpback whales.
No, actual whales, not...
Oh,
Yeah, not...
a tree.
No,
It's not a euphemism for
No.
Bondi or something.
No, that's right.
That one's all greased up.
Right, we're ready to start it. Or at least this end's ready. Are you good for a start? Yes, but do you want the honours? Do you want to start it?
It's all yours, Jack.
No, it's hardly
No,
mine.
it's all yours.
You did the...
Yes, I know, but this is your project.
Well, it's Dad's project,
Uh-huh.
his dream. It's only been 5 years since we started this.
Oh, one hit. Too good to be true. Oh, it's going. It's like a diesel.
You just got to spring them over?
Yeah.
Where'd you put the other one?
On the back of the ute. Spanner rolls back on the other ute. Here we go. Where's my leather now?
Yeah, your dad tried to nick it.
Yeah.
I know it's your Leatherman because it's the heaviest.
Right, so that's hoofing water in, which is going nicely. We're pretty much at the end of the day. It's 4:45, so that's pumping, cranking away nicely. See how much it pulls it down overnight, and then we're good. So tomorrow we're doing some cattle work, some Wi-Fi, and maybe check this out. Right, so the other guys have gotten on the way and are flying. We've only been pumping for maybe 15, 20 minutes. It's dropped the water level already a couple of inches. Now I've got about a 30 centimeters, a foot, before it's going to hit the foot valve, which we don't want the pump running dry. So we've got the Olympic swimming pool over here that appears to have a better drain further out. It's either work on digging that through or go out in the mud and trench a little bit to see what I can get. Now, we're looking at 4 or 5 meters here. It's my little shovel. I do have the little ant pick, but I wasn't really yeah, wasn't planning on having to dig a little bit here. So see how hard it is, but I almost think the little trench through here would be better because I've got a big drain, and I don't know, I'm just gonna get cracking. You are gonna be fucking hard all the way through. I'd love to bust that one up, but I reckon I'm gonna have to go for a little bit of muddy work. So I wouldn't mind being home tonight. I didn't throw a swag in or anything. So we'll have a little look at what I've done so far, and it is pulling a fair bit in. That's not quite gonna be enough to sustain that pump. I've dropped the rev, so we're somewhere better. All right, I've gone out just a couple of meters here. Flowing in nicely, but it's not quite keeping up with it. What I'm going to do is flick the camera off, keep on digging. All right, I'm on my way home now. So it's about an hour and a half back. Should have either, well, actually, probably just could have packed my swag or something. That would have been okay, but it's been extremely cold. And my Jetboil. Then I could have had a nice hot copper coffee in the morning and just get cracking. I ended up digging around 50 meters of trenching out, only about 4 inches, 5 inches below the water level. Most of that was done with a little ant digger that proved to be quite good, a little bit better than the wee shovel. Right, the flickering light's starting to annoy me, and my toes are starting to gain some feeling back. I've got it on full heat. Yeah. Cheers, everyone, and I will see you on the next day of adventures.